What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Looper Norris here, back with another album review, album reaction, reacting to the most recent hip-hop albums of 2023, 2024, review it, react to it, give you guys a rating about the album. So today we're gonna do the new album from Logic, Ultra 85, brand new album he released maybe like a couple of weeks ago. This is a rapper that's been in the game for a long time. Even though like he's just in his mid-30s, it's almost like it's 20 years he's been in the game. A lot of people know him as Bobby Tarantino or Young Sinatra, one of the biggest, most famous rappers when he was a lot younger. Back in the day, he was a lot bigger. So he's from Rockville, Maryland. He grew up in Gaithersburg, Maryland, so same state. Very lyrical rapper, very smart rapper. A lot of people know him as a conscious rapper, kind of talking about political views and talks a lot about racism. He's biracial. He'll give a lot of point of views about being white and being black and having a black dad, having a white mom, and a lot of serious issues that go on in the world. Gang violence, he'll talk a lot about that. He'll outline a lot of the negativity that comes out of gang life, child abuse too, the fact that he was abused as a kid. He talks a lot about that throughout his music. Kind of like a serious rapper. He likes to make serious songs. He's very poetic with it. Very lyrical rapper, you know what I mean? He's not one of those rappers that tries to make money off of it. Even though he's generated a lot of money off of his music, he doesn't flaunt his money the way most rappers do in the game. He's a little more traditional. He's a backpack rapper in a sense. He's more of a backpack rapper that's been successful with his music, tours, world tours. I think he's been nominated for awards, probably won some awards here and there too. Pretty much done everything when it comes to becoming a successful rapper when you think about it. A lot of his songs, he'll go off with his like raps non-stop. That's kind of like his style. He released this new album, Ultra 85. This is the most recent album he put out. Before I review this album, I got the new song, Vanta Black. That's dropping September 4th. So make sure you guys check out that song once I put it out. This new mixtape, #INDICA. That one is set for October 4th. This one has 15 tracks in it, so make sure you check it out for October 4th, #INDICA. Before I start talking about this album, I'm gonna play a few of the songs off of the album to give you guys an idea of how this one sounds like, and then I'm gonna give you guys my viewpoint of how I feel about the album. Then I'm gonna give you guys a rating out of 10. So we're gonna get right into this one. It's Logic, Ultra 85, Young Sinatra, Bobby Tarantino. This is off SoundCloud. The first track I'm playing here, 44 Ever. Next track I'll play, Deja Vu, featuring DJ Drama. The next track I'll play, this one's called Fear. I'm just trying to do my best, babe. Ain't no wonder why I'm so stressed. Maybe life we living high. This is the last track I'll play. This one's called Antidote. So Logic, Ultra 85, the most recent album by Maryland's rapper. Logic's one of those rappers where I thought he's got the skills, but I never really enjoyed his music as like a rap fan. And I think a lot of people will have a similar opinion about him. I always thought with Logic, from like the days where he first started, he's the kind of rapper where like everything that you would want to hear from a rapper at the highest level possible. When you think about what it means to be a good rapper, they got the lyrics. You can do different styles. You can rap fast, you can rap slow, you can talk about almost anything and translate it into a rap song. Your beat selection is on point. They're always like strong beats and it's perfect for the style that you use. You master your own style too as like a great rapper, right? When you look at all the attributes you need in terms of what it takes to be a great rapper, he has all of that, and he's always had that from the beginning of his career. I remember back in the days listening to Logic, like when he first started his career. This is a guy that was able to like complete a Rubik's Cube while rapping. When it comes to like rap skills, like pure rap skills, this guy's on another level. I always thought that since the beginning of his career. All throughout his career, this guy has a crazy amount of haters. You know what I mean? Even though he's been very successful throughout his career up until this point, he's always had a crazy amount of haters at the same time, and all rappers do, right? All rappers have haters and they have fans, but Logic, man, so it's like half and half. Half of the people that hear his music will either hate him because he'll talk a lot about stuff that bore people, annoy people, because he constantly will talk about the same type of issues, or he'll just come across as like super corny. In the hip-hop world, man, when a rapper is corny, that can really hurt the rapper. Only in the hip-hop world, I'd say. It doesn't matter as much in other genres, but like his corniness is like on like the highest level possible when it comes to like rappers in general. I think it's the biggest reason why a lot of people will dislike his music and just straight up not listen to him. The other half of the people that you'll introduce his music to will love him because of his rap skills, his ability to like freestyle really well, his beat selection, just his overall knowledge about hip-hop, a pioneer of hip-hop, just understanding the like history behind it. And half of the people who are introduced to his music will love him because of that. I was sort of on the dislike side just because I always thought he was very corny. I never liked how he always brought up his biracialness, the fact that he's white and black, and if he's allowed to say the N-word or not, and you know what I mean, saying stuff like that. He talks a lot about how his childhood was like super rough and he had like the worst upbringing, and he just talks about a lot of things that you would hear from other rappers. He's kind of just bringing it up, and it's like, I don't know, man, there's something about how he like writes his songs. It's just like a corniness about it, man. He like, all the issues that he'll bring up in his upbringing are the same issues that you've heard before from other rappers, but there's no like style to it when he talks about it in his music. It comes off as corniness, you know what I mean? It's not like he's taking that same information, doing something completely different with it. He's almost like an R&B singer that raps. His stories are always emotional. They're always stories that's made to make you feel bad for him, in a sense, right? For you to take his side just because you're feeling bad for him for the stuff that he's bringing up, that's basically Logic. Whenever he's like emotional with his music, because he's not always like that with his music. He'll make a dance record sometimes. He'll make a smoke record sometimes. He'll make like a party record, a record that's literally meant to make everyone just jump, bounce, and sing along and just have fun. He'll make songs like that here and there, but the majority of the songs that he'll make are extremely emotional, and they're about just him not fitting in the world and kind of being depressed, talking to his like therapist, and he just brings up a lot of stuff like that. And I think because of that, he'll get a lot of haters. He'll come across as very corny. It just takes away the talent and the skill that he has when it comes to like writing and rapping. It takes away from it. He comes across as more of like a poet, which isn't the worst thing, but like you're in the rap world trying to sound like a poet. The tone of his music is like R&B and emotional and contemporary, and you know, it's made to like move you emotionally, which isn't the worst thing, but I think he does it just way too much. He kind of reminds me of Kid Cudi in a lot of ways, but like the rap version of Kid Cudi, always pouring his emotions out and always bringing up stuff that's made to like feel bad for him, man. He brings you to his level in terms of emotions through his music, which comes across as corny. It might be slightly better because of his rap skills. It's just boring, you know what I mean? It comes across as boring. It makes you want to listen to a different rapper, and I think that was Logic's problem. It stopped him from being the best rapper in the world, because I always thought he had the skills to be one of the best in the game, the top rappers in the game right now. But at the same time, I always thought his obsession of talking about his biracialness and his upbringing and constantly talking about how the way he grew up, basically, and always going to that, talking about how he has like therapists and he's emotionally unstable, and sometimes he's like this and that, and sometimes he feels like this, and like if he got off of that earlier in his career, used his skills and talent to like make songs that blow up, accessible for like clubs and getting like radio play, even though he's had songs like that in the past. But I feel like if he made most of his songs like that, Logic, if he kind of followed the same blueprint, I think people would look at him more as a top 5, maybe top 10 rapper in the game. I don't think he ruined his career. Absolutely, obviously not. Like, he's doing really well, but I think he could have blossomed even more. Instead, try to come up with different concepts. Kind of displays that on this album just a bit. There's a few songs on the album where they stand out. It's like a style that I never really heard from Logic, because honestly most of his songs sound the same, where he's just trying to be overly aggressive with how good he is at like rapping, trying to really show his like rap skills and rap super fast. That's kind of what I mean. Like, he should do less of that, do more songs like Teleport, Antidote, 40 Forever had like a different style to it. I feel like he'd be appreciated more as one of the top 10, maybe even top 5 rappers in the game, because he has the talent level to do that. But I feel like he doesn't use his talent and his skill level the right way. You get what I mean? With all the haters calling him out and saying all kinds of things about him, he really like pays attention to that. Maybe not nowadays because he's a little bit older. He has like a whole family and all of that. He doesn't really care as much now, but I think before he cared a lot about what haters would say about him, people online that don't mess with him as much, kind of like the way fans do to like JPEG Mafia just a bit. Maybe it still does till this day. Kind of gets into his head. You can hear it in his music. I won't say he tries too hard. It's like he wants you to believe that like, I got these rap skills where if you were to try it, you won't be able to do what I can with the 9-minute track in the beginning of the album. And there's like a handful of songs throughout the album where he's rapping extremely fast. You can't even understand what he's saying. This is an example of it. He has like 8 different songs like that on the album. The problem with that, it's like he's paying too much attention, showing off. I don't think he's a tryhard, because that's probably what he gets from most people, critics, that he tries too hard. I think it's more like a show off thing. I feel like he tries too hard to show off the pure talent and skills that he has, instead of taking that talent and skills and translating it into like songs that no one's ever heard before. Club bangers, experimental Logic, like cloud rap Logic. He has the ability to dip into other styles and other subgenres of hip-hop and create new styles of songs that no one's ever heard before. That was the problem that I had with this album here. For the most part, I thought it was a pretty dope album. He's evolving for sure. He's going outside of his comfort zone, giving you songs that you're not really used to hearing from Logic. So he does that a few times on the album, but for the most part he kind of gives you the same Logic that Logic's been giving you since he started his career. That's kind of how I felt about this album. Like, I thought it was good. It could have been a lot better. I think the beats were really good though. That's one thing that I gotta say. Like, I think the beats outdid the raps for sure in terms of production. I think the album was really well made, mostly because of the production. There's a lot of beats on here. The producer's using like a different concept, which gives it like a fresh sound. Usually he would use beats that are pretty generic. On this album, you're getting beats that are a little more different, a little more experimental, which I like a lot, man. And it's most of the album too. It's not just 1 or 2 tracks. Definitely the highlight of the album. It would have been a little bit smarter if you got like legit singers to be featured on those songs where he's singing. He's famous and rich enough to get the right type of talent to feature on the album. And there's like here and there, he's got some lines, man. In terms of rating, I'll probably give this one a 7.4 out of 10. Just like I was going over before, thought the album was alright. It could have been a lot better if he tried things that was outside of what he's used to, outside of his comfort zone, instead of just going super hip-hop on every track. There's even a little bit of scratching going on throughout the album, a lot of record scratching, but he just goes super hip-hop all the time, man, instead of trying like different stuff. You look at Playboi Carti, this guy is very far from traditional hip-hop, but when you hear Playboi Carti rap, he's rapping but just using a style that you're absolutely not used to. Even though I think Logic's like miles better than Playboi Carti. Like, I honestly, I think Playboi Carti is a pretty bad rapper. Logic's a million times better, but at least Playboi Carti's like trying flows and schemes that you just never heard before, giving you like a fresh experience. And Logic could have been that, but he has to be too real with himself and stick to like that super hip hop sound. Still pretty successful at the same time, so I give him a little bit credit for that. Logic, Ultra 85, another album review, another reaction. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe to the channel. Once again, I'm Looper Norris. Make sure you guys check out the next track I'm releasing, Vanta Black, set for September 4th. New mixtape, hashtag INDICA, 15-track mixtape set for October 4th. More content on the way. Stay tuned for all that. Yeah, man, that's all I got for this one, man. I'm out of here. Peace.